Good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's had a good weekend. How is everybody? Right, we need to invite some people. Okay. If you are watching, please share, because this is going to be a really important message that all young women, well, all young girls and women need to hear. I'm just going to wait a while, just while a few of you jump on, because I don't want to start until there's a few on. Let me just invite. If you can do me a favour, guys, and just click the bottom button, and it gives you the option to invite your friends. If there's anybody that you know with young girls, doesn't matter how old, any daughters, nieces, nephews, to be honest, nephews, whatever. Right, let's see. Okay. How hot is it today, guys? It is really hot, isn't it? Okay. So I've invited a few people. There's a few people that have said, remind me, invite me. So let's do that. Okay. So if you're on, say hi. And, oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. If you can share into any groups. So I've advertised this in Wiltshire Mums Network. Hey, go landscape. Oh, I'm on my iPad, Ryan. Can I go landscape? Can't turn your phone while recording. Oh, is that okay? Is that okay, Ryan? Oh God, I've got to prop it now. I need to prop it. Oh, you can tell this is live, isn't it? The struggle is real. Ah. Okay. There, is that okay? Is that better? Ryan, give me a thumbs up. Oh no, all of my comments are lopsided now. Do I need to be landscaped, Ryan? That's better. That was the wrong way, wasn't it? Why do I need to be landscaped? Not flipped, keep upright. Okay. I need a fan. Has anybody got a fan? No, that looks worse. Sorry, Uncle Ryan. Hey, Izzy. Hey, Hannah. I'm really excited that you're all jumping on, because you are going to absolutely love this guy that we've got to talk to you tonight. Okay. There's lots and lots of people coming on. Like I say, if you can hit that share button and share in any groups that you're in, any mum network groups that you think might be interested in, it's cool. It will just have me as a little box in the corner. Oh, sorry, Ryan. So sorry. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Teresa. Thanks for coming on. Like I say, if you can share, because this is a really important message that we want to get out there to all women and all young girls, because growing up in today's world is difficult. Really difficult. Hey, Kerry. Kerry, invite Bethany, because this live is aimed at mums and also daughters, young girls, nieces. Awesome. Okay. So, as you've all seen, I've been advertising this live for a few days now. I've been planning this because it's something really close to my heart. Something I'm actually really passionate about. And I might just warn you now, I might just get a tad emotional. Because I'm really passionate about it. And so the idea of tonight's live is, so for me, from a mum's perspective, talking to you, and also Ryan, who is a life and mindset coach, talking to you about confidence, self-belief, and we're going to discuss things like the pressures of social media and peer pressures and stuff like that. Hey, Jamie. So it's going to be really... Oh, it is Beth. Hello, gorgeous. Beth, share with your friends, beautiful. Share with your friends. Let's get lots of young girls and mummies watching. And let's get the message across. Okay. Here we go. So, like I say, I've been planning this for a while, and I've been talking to lots and lots of mums since advertising this live. I've had lots of private messages. Hey, Lisa. Hey, honey. thanks for jumping on from Devon. Nice to see you. Hey, Kaylee. Yeah, I've been talking to lots of mums since advertising this live, because I've had lots of private messages saying about the struggles that they're having with their young daughters. And actually, it's been really, really touching and really, really quite emotional, actually. Really sad to see the struggles that these girls are actually coming up against. And, you know, we are talking pre-teens here. So it's really, really important that we make this impression on these young girls before they grow up and before they grow into women. Now, if you've got daughters and they are, you know, 3, 4, 5, don't think that this isn't going to apply to you, because it absolutely is. The impression that we give to our children, or should I say the influence that we put upon our children, we really, really need to be thinking about that, because I've been guilty, I must admit, I've been guilty of putting myself down, you know, not being in a great place, feeling fat, moaning about my appearance, etc., etc. And, you know, you don't really think that your daughters, when they're so young, are listening, but actually they are. You know, from as young as 3 upwards, they're going to be listening, they're going to be looking up to you, and they are going to be you are their role model. So first of all, before I introduce Ryan, can you see me? Am I like high enough? First of all, before I introduce Ryan and bring him onto the live, I just want to say, girls, you are not alone. There are actually lots of you who are feeling these pressures of growing up today. And, you know, it was different when we were younger. Don't feel like you're different than the rest. Because it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel angry, it's okay to feel confused, but don't let these feelings, don't let them take over, don't let them get you, because you can live a really, really unhappy life if you do. Don't compare yourself to others. There's a saying that we say as adults, comparison is the thief of joy. And it really, really is. When you start comparing yourself, wishing that you were prettier or slimmer or smarter, then that's when the unhappiness begins. You're you are you. And when you start to realise that you are enough, you are beautiful, you are you, there's only one of you, and you are enough. When you start to realise that, then that's when, you know, that's when you can start to be happy again. Don't listen to anyone else, don't listen to the bullies. Look in the mirror and tell yourself every single day that you are beautiful and that you are enough, you're strong. And if you do that every single day, then you'll really start to believe that. And then the more you believe it, then the self-confidence will improve, and then you will start to live a whole happier life. So we need to learn about self-love, and Ryan's going to teach you about that tonight. So with self-love comes self-confidence, and with self-confidence comes self-belief. And if you've got self-belief, then you really can achieve anything. So you had this realization yesterday. It's a great feeling, and once that switch inside you clicks and you actually believe that, then it's an amazing feeling. So trust us, girlies. Trust us, girlies. Okay, I'm going to invite Ryan to the live. Ryan, how do I invite you? Or can you request to join my live? Here we go. Guest viewers, your viewers, add. Bring Ryan on camera. Adding Ryan. I've never done this before. Let's see how we go.
Hello.
Hey, here he is.
How are you? Hi guys. How are we all?
Are you cool?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm fine.
You actually are a tiny little screen on my screen.
It's
I'm really
fine.
sorry about that. That was really not well planned, was it? Can
Absolutely
everybody
fine.
see Ryan? Everybody say hi to Ryan.
You've given such a great introduction.
It's a poor connection, did you say?
No, I said you've given such a great introduction. I think you've done my job for me.
Good. Oh, bless you. I just wanted to say that little personal message from a mum's point of view, you know? And then obviously you can talk to the girlies and the mums from a life coach point of view. So first of all, Ryan, if you could just tell everybody who you are, what you do, just introduce yourself.
So, Ryan Hartley. I'm Teresa's brother-in-law. And 31, married, 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, Corey and Brooke. And Ever since a young age, I've been fascinated by people. I'm a curious little monkey. I want to know how people work and operate. And I was initially fascinated with naughty people and why naughty people did naughty things. So I wanted to go into like the crime side and be a profiler. And I left university with a degree in psychology and then joined the police and soon realized that those jobs don't really exist, being criminal profiler. So I did a number of jobs within the police up until the point where I became an analyst, and that was all about helping making the organization better through numbers. And through my development, I was trained to be a coach, and that was all about helping people improve. And I fell in love with it. I fell in love with helping people achieve their goals and fulfill their potential. And through that development, it helped me find my own purpose, which is really about just helping people be at their best and fulfill their potential. Now I've started my own coaching practice, and I use this phrase "always better than yesterday," and that that's something that's really meaningful to me, and I'll explain a bit about that in a bit. But that's where I am now. I've been helping a number of the unique girls with their own goals, and I think the one thing I've found that whether I'm talking to sports people, corporate, network marketers, whether I'm talking about relationships, I think the one thing that I've noticed about all of it that connects it all is confidence and self-belief. So I'm really glad that you've asked me to come and do this bit of a talk, because I think if I can help people alongside you feel more confident, then together we'll create a world that's always better than yesterday.
Brilliant. And for the younger girls that are watching, can you just elaborate a little bit about what always better than yesterday means?
Yeah, as simple as I can put it, it's being confident enough to try things, brave enough to do new things, learning and growing as you go, so that you're always improving. It's stepping into your potential. That's it in its simplest form. It's just growing. And I think, as I said a minute ago, I think confidence is the key to enabling that, because I think if you're confident to try things, you will soon see that you can do it, and you're able to do these things, or maybe there'll be lessons along the way, but that's cool, because that's part of growing, and we know that. So it's and why that's important is I think I'm working with people that are coming into the business world now, having grown up with social media and the impacts of that, and it's amazing how they don't see their own potential. It's amazing how the people that are leaving school and joining the workplace right now don't even believe or know how good they are. And that worries me. That worries me. They're constantly comparing themselves to other people, constantly seeking affirmation or validation. And I think it's got to change. I think people need to realize how great they are, and step into their potential.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that's really important to me to talk about tonight from a mum's point of view is self-love. Now, I didn't really know what self-love was, and I've got a 12-year-old daughter, and she's watching actually. Hi, Izzy. And she doesn't mind me saying that when we talk about self-love, and I've said to her before, I've said, you've really got to learn to love yourself, be comfortable in the skin you're in. And from a 12-year-old's point of view, she's gone, oh, love yourself. And from a young girl's point of view, talking about loving yourself comes across as arrogance. So can you explain the difference between self-love, between loving yourself and loving yourself, if that makes sense?
Absolutely. Do you know what? I think it all boils down to who's it for.
Sorry?
I think it all boils down to who's it for. Who is the self-love for? And if it's just for you, well, it is just for you. Just being able to look yourself in the mirror and just be happy with what you see back, being comfortable with who you are, what you think, what you believe, and being able to walk into a room, standing tall, making eye contact with people, knowing that it doesn't matter if people are judging you. They probably aren't. It doesn't matter, because you know who you are and you know what you stand for, and you know you're good enough.
Absolutely.
That's what self-love is. It's as cheesy as it might sound, it is really just being absolutely at peace with who you are,
Who you
and knowing
are,
that
yeah,
the opinions of others just doesn't matter. You know, it's
yeah.
something for you. If you're not, you know, you got to be able to love yourself, absolutely. And I think the difference with that kind of arrogance is about, it's for other people at that point. You're trying to be something for other people. It's just, you know, it's got to be for yourself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So hopefully the young girlies out there will make more sense to them. And then with self-love, then comes self-confidence. And how can we as mums help build our children's confidence, would you say?
Oh, where do we start? It starts with, like, I think going back to that self-love, I think some of that is about looking at other people and thinking that you need to be something you're not, thinking you need to say things, do things to fit in with other people, and sometimes go along with things. And actually, do you know what? Let's take it back a step. Let's look inwards. Let's look inwards and focus on, you know, take the time to think, what am I good at?
Yeah.
What am I really good at? What's important to me? You know, what do I love to do? You know, what makes me happy? You know, because when you're doing those sorts of things, when you are enjoying what you're doing, when you are just being, you're not thinking about the opinions of others, that's when that authentic, true self comes out.
Yeah.
You know, you're just in the moment, you're having fun, you got no cares in the world. And we need to spend more time in that kind of conscious space that says, actually, I love this, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And another thing I think is, us as parents, just tell them daily. It's like pass it forward, right? If you imagine, right, your husband you know, you're getting dressed every day, and if he looked at you and he said, "Baby, you look lush today," if he said that to you every day, you would skip to work, right? We
Maybe
have
that's
the
why I'm
power
so
to do
happy
that.
now, Ryan.
This is it. You've
Because I
got an
get that
absolute
now.
hero.
I get that now.
You've got a hero. And this is the power of just sharing, you know, positive thoughts. You know, it's not lying, it's finding the good. It's finding the positives and sharing that. And I think the most impactful thing to do is to share that positive about character or about effort or about behavior. Because if we think about, we only say nice things when they achieve or they come first, or they then that adds additional pressure to young people. You know, I'm only going to get that positivity from my mum if I'm good enough. Well, no, you're good enough right now, and the effort you're putting in, the values, you know, the being a good person, it's like, you know, and that's kind of where I think it's really important. It's really important to talk about behavior and effort and being a good person, because everything else will just come after that.
Definitely. And I've seen quite a lot of things being shared on Facebook actually about, and you know, I totally agree that my child's mental health is far more important to me than any achievements. You know, obviously education is really, really important, but I think their mental health it comes first.
And this is it, because we're talking about foundations and platforms here. We're just talking about, what do people need? What do people need? And people need just to, you know, get out of their own heads and just be okay and just focus on whatever they want to do and enjoy. And they're gonna trip up and they're gonna fail along the way. And I think, you know, if we can have kids that actually don't worry about stuff like that,
it's okay to fail, isn't it? It's okay. Failure is not failure, is it? Failure is a step in the right direction.
And the way in which we go about this as parents is the language that we use. You know, it's excuse me, it's being really clear about using empowering language. And what I mean by that is exactly the stuff that I'm sure you're sharing a bit around the positive affirmations, because the brain believes whatever you tell it. The brain's going to believe whatever you tell it. So wouldn't you rather feed it with positive self-talk that is, I can do this. It's okay if I fail. I'll get back up again. I'll learn. I'll grow. you know, and being mindful of developing that type of language.
Yeah.
It's really powerful.
Yeah, it goes so far back as well. You know, I'm in my 40s now, but I always remember my mum saying that there's no such word as can't. Well, differently now, we'll just say, no, you can't yet, but you
Yeah,
will. If you keep trying, you will. Give it another go,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another thing with the confidence and the things that we can do as parents is absolutely role model the way.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
because they're looking, like you said in your introduction, they're looking, they're watching from a very young
all
age.
the time.
They're
Yeah,
they're listening to the words and the language that you. So I'm sure she's not watching because she's not on Facebook. But when the kids have been with Nanny,
yeah,
you know, and they know, I know that they can
yeah,
spot her language a mile
yeah, yeah,
away,
definitely.
and my kids now, because we've not drilled it into them, but we use it so frequently, they're starting to hold her to account. Oh, we don't say that in this house, you know. We
I've heard
can,
it. I've heard Corey say that.
you know, and that's because they're starting to believe it themselves, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what we were talking about earlier about the growth and fixed mindsets. And
Mm-hmm.
some schools are really good actually at teaching the growth mindset. And I don't know how many viewers on here actually know what a fixed mindset is and what a growth mindset is. But do you want to touch on that quickly, Ryan?
Yeah, I guess it's a from a book by a lady called Carol Dweck. She wrote a book called Mindset, and she characterizes two different types of mindsets. And I'll only touch on it lightly, but a fixed mindset is about believing that, you know, the most talented and successful people in life were just gifted. They were just
Yeah.
born that way, and that your own potential you is limited and it's fixed, and you couldn't possibly achieve the things. They must have things that, or access to things that you don't have, and you know, and that failure is the end of it, and that it's because you're bad, and it's because you're not good enough, and those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
I've simplified it a lot, but the growth mindset is someone that knows that actually it takes a lot of hard work and effort to learn, grow, and improve. Someone with a growth mindset will look to others and not feel threatened by them, but they would look to learn from them
Mm-hmm.
and gain their knowledge and experience, and actually see failure as something necessary to help them learn from it and grow from it.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, basically then, for the young girls, if you've got a fixed mindset, you don't believe that you can, that you're capable of anything. If you can't do it, you think you
Yeah.
can't do it, and that's it. Whereas if you've got a growth mindset, Izzy says I do. Good girl. She knows what a growth mindset is. If you can't do something, like I said before, you can't yet. You keep trying, you keep trying.
Yeah.
And if you really want to do something, then you will be able to do it. So yeah, that's a growth mindset. So that's brilliant. And that goes on to self-belief again. And like we touched on before about you know, your mind is a very clever thing, isn't it? We're like magnets. We attract what we think and we feel and what we
Absolutely.
say. And so it's really important. We find it helpful. And again, I've spoke to Izzy about this, and she doesn't mind me saying that we do daily affirmations. I mean, some of you who are my friends on Facebook, you've seen I share Lewis doing his daily affirmations. Lewis
Yeah, it's
is
amazing.
9. Yeah, he's got special needs, and he's at the age now where he is realizing that he can't do some of the things that the children his age can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about it. But he, you know, he now, instead of saying I can't do that, he will automatically, his brain is trained to say, I can, I will, I can, I will. And
Yeah.
he watches this song on YouTube, and I shared it the other day, because YouTube is an amazing resource, a free resource, guys. I'll share some links with you actually after the live. But hey, Sean's just come on. Yeah, YouTube is brilliant. Lewis watches this YouTube song called, I think we just searched Positive Affirmations for Kids. And he sings this song, and the
Amazing.
tune and the song is in his head. And he's like, so he says, I believe in me. Yes, I do. And all this kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's brilliant. I always try my best. I always try my best. And, you know, that's instilled there. So daily affirmations are brilliant. Sorry?
So for those people that are watching, that are saying, oh yeah, what difference can just saying a few words make? You're living and breathing that in your household. Can you tell people what difference it's made to Lewis?
It's made a massive difference to him. Massive difference. And to Izzy. I mean, you know, with Lewis, for example, small things like putting his socks on, you know, and he, like I said before, he's got additional needs. He goes to a special school. He's just come out of nappies, and before he was, no, I can't. And we're like, you can and you will. I can, I will. So their mindset is, if we're consistently doing that every single day, which we are, we're instilling that in them. And the same as Izzy, you know, like all girls growing up, like I said before, are under pressure from peer pressure, and you know, lots of on Instagram there's filters and Snapchat, and you know, they're constantly comparing themselves to slightly older girls, maybe thinking, I want to be that slim, I want to be that beautiful, she's amazingly stunning, and look at me. And you know, and we've had lots of talks about this, and again, you know, Izzy doesn't mind me saying, where are you, Izzy? She was going to share some of her affirmations that she says every day. See if she comes on with that. But it just makes them think. It makes them stop and think. So they'll say, I can't. And then their brain will just, that switch will go, no, you can't yet, but you will. Or, you know, and we listen to, Izzy and I listen to positive affirmations or morning motivation on the way to school, just to make you feel good. It's just a really good way of starting your day. So positivity, guys, is the way forward. Absolutely, absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, I will share in the link some of the YouTube resources that we do use. But Ryan, is there any other resources that you can think of that you'd like to share with the mums and the girls out there?
What for in particular?
Just for mindset, self-belief, just positive. Wasn't there a book that you've been reading with Corey about You Are Awesome or something?
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. So yeah, there's a book by Matthew Syed called You Are Awesome, and it's all about developing a growth mindset in kids, and it tells the story of Kid Awesome, and Kid Awesome has a growth mindset, and he develops over time, and he compares him to Kid Average, and how the two paths could be very different. So it helps you think about practicing, trying, you know, developing. And it's written for kids for, you know, I'd say between sort of 8 to 14, I guess, 8 to 13. Corey's 5, and I think he grasped the concept and he really enjoyed it. So brilliant. 100%, you know, that's good. And the energy bust for kids.
Yes.
And the energy bus, you know, fuel your ride with positivity. You know, it's a very, very important message, I think.
Definitely, because the energy bus as well is really, really good for teaching kids how to deal with bullies as well, isn't it? I mean, if somebody's mean at school, Izzy will say, I don't let them on my bus, Mum. Don't let them on your bus.
Yes.
And again, so that is instilled in there. So it's definitely the way forward. You know, if there's any other, if you're interested, guys, and you want any more advice, then I'm sure, because obviously putting Ryan on the spot there, I'm sure he could come up with some other positive books for children to recommend. So Ryan, just we won't keep everyone too much longer, but just talking briefly about the pressures of social media. Like I said, you know, there's Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. What advice could you give parents out there, and what do you make of the social media for young girls nowadays?
It's tough. It's a tough place to be, and I think that isn't the problem of social media, because I think, again, it's just a tool. I think some of the problem is it's just highly addictive. You know, I think when you get notifications, new followers, your body's getting a shot of dopamine, and that's the chemical in our bodies. And I won't go too technical, but it's addictive. You know, that's why people and adults become addicted to other substances, because of this little thing called dopamine, and our kids are getting shots of that every time they're getting likes and follows. So it's difficult, you know, and I dread the day when my little ones want to go on it. But you know, I guess it's about limiting the use, and just staying connected with your little ones, being present, asking them about their day, getting out into nature, getting outside, just building up a trusting relationship with your kids, so that if anything did happen, or they were having these thoughts, that they would open up and, you know, feel like they can come and talk to you because you are interested and you're present and you care. Because here's the thing, talk about social and peer pressure. One of the biggest human needs is the need to fit in.
Yeah.
You know, so that wanting to fit in is entirely natural. Now, the challenge you're going to have as a parent, and certainly for those of you that are listening, the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So you better look at those people you're surrounding with yourself with, and work out whether you're happy with that average, because that's what human behavior does to you. And if you're surrounding yourself with people that are negative, that bring you down, that talk badly about other people, then you're going to get. If you surround yourself, and this is what I do, this is how I make my social media a helpful place, is I surround it with inspiring and uplifting people and content. So that's something you can do as a parent, is just be mindful of the types of accounts that they're following, mindful of the accounts that they're, you know, interacting with and engaging with, because again, there's this need to fit in, and there's you know, what the other, if you do what we said at the very start of this live around being clear on who you are, what you like, what you don't like, again, that's a good way for your young people to be able to filter that content. Once they get clear on what's important to them and what they like and what they enjoy and how they like to treat people, the minute they see something that isn't in line with that, they should feel more empowered to not go along with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's why be a sheep? You know, don't be a sheep. You know, stand up for what you think and believe in. And I think what it will take is a few brave people, a few brave young people to say, no, this is who I am and this is how I want to do things.
Yeah.
And they will be the leaders. They will be the one that other people want to follow, because they've got the confidence in themselves to not go along with the crowd. And they don't realize it yet, but if they're confident not to go along with the crowd would follow them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
And that's the play I would say to you young people, is just do what is right for you. Do what you believe in. Don't go along with it for the sake of it. Don't try and feel the need to fit in, because there's only one version of you. Show the world the best version of you.
Yeah.
Show the world what you care about. Help people. You know, one of the best ways to you know, get over some of your own insecurities is to help somebody else with theirs.
Yeah.
You know, because you'll feel of value, you'll feel of
makes
worth.
you feel good. Yeah, we did this. There was a lady in the supermarket yesterday, and she was in a mobility scooter, and she had her shopping piled up, and you know, it was wobbling all over the place. And I stopped and helped her, and like you do, because that's just me. And Izzy said, "You're a really nice lady, aren't you, Mum?" And I went, "Thanks, Izzy." And I thought, my instant thought was,
what we're talking about.
That's what I'm teaching her. You know, I did that naturally, but hopefully naturally she will follow that. She's just it is a really powerful message, Sarah. It is.
Now, I lose my mind when Corey holds the door open for someone or anything like that, because it's just, that is the type of human being I want in this world. And if he does something like that, I'm going, absolutely, I'm like his number one fan. And it's stuff like that that's going to make him want to do that again, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just scrolling down because I noticed that Izzy left a message. Oh, see, this is why I do what I do. My mum has helped Lewis and I so much, and we are so positive. If I'm honest, I have dark ginger hair and I get called Nemo.
Yeah.
Guess what? I don't care. Never let them on my bus.
And this is the thing with young people, right?
So proud of you,
Izzy Blake, like, and this is the thing. If you think about it, they're calling you Nemo. Like, Nemo was one of the best-selling films of all time. Like, that ain't an insult. Like, you know what I mean? That's just kids being silly. And it's just like, I'm so glad that you've got the mind just to say, no, thank you. No, thank you. You know who you are, Izzy Blake. Be proud of yourself.
I love it.
Be proud of yourself.
I love it. You are enough, she says. I am enough. Wow, amazing. Just completely distracted me there with emotion. Oh dear, what a superstar. What an absolute superstar. What was this? Somebody said kindness is free.
Absolutely. Who said that?
Kindness is free of charge. Dish it out as much as possible. Absolutely, Sarah. As parents, 100%. Stay present, invest your time. Don't be too busy to do these things as they are growing and finding their feet in the world. Make sure they know you're there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's brilliant. So, I don't know, what else have we... I'm just looking to see if I've missed anything. Oh, there was one other thing, Ryan. I
Mm.
don't know if you heard me saying when you jumped on in the beginning that since I've been advertising this live, I have had a lot of mums actually come to me, private message me, and tell me what's going on with their girls, and just absolutely saddens me so much. And to hear some of the mums as well say, what am I doing wrong? What have I done wrong? So what advice can you give to those mums? I'm sure they're not doing anything wrong, but what advice can you give to those mums out there that are watching?
You are where you are right now, and you can only move forward. So I think holding on to that feeling of guilt or that you've done anything wrong just isn't going to serve you. So just make that decision right here, right now, just to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, have you actually considered what you've been doing right? Go easy on yourself. Think about what you've done right. You've kept a human alive for how many years? That's a pretty, significant achievement, because no one really gives you a meal when they pop out into your life. So focus on what you've done right, and potentially you've maybe let some of that slip, and maybe you could do more of it. I mean, who knows? But one thing you can definitely start doing is be mindful of your own thoughts and your beliefs, because your own thoughts and your beliefs will come out in the way that you speak. It will come out in the way that you act. It will come out in the way that you treat them. So if they've done something wrong and you're saying, you are annoying or you're naughty, what you're doing is you're labeling them, and they will assume that label to say, I am not, I'll amount to nothing. And we as humans, we just model that behavior who we think we are. It's very, very important not to say you are something. I think we, like I said earlier, acknowledge the behavior.
Yeah.
Being mindful of that. I think one thing you can do is very much like what you've done with your little ones is take the time, sit down with them, and actually spend some time. Some people, if they haven't done this, it can be clunky, it can be awkward, but it's like lifting weights. For the first time, they're going to feel heavy, but if you keep doing it, you keep practicing, you get stronger, right? It's the same thing with positivity, right? It's a habit that you have to build and focus on, and almost try and do it daily until it becomes ingrained in what you do. And I think sit down with your little one and do it with yourself, do it with your partner, and write 3 to 5 statements. I am, and keep it positive. I am loving, I am caring, I am confident, I am a helper, I am analytical, I am fun, I am funny. Whatever they might be, we've all got tons of those words. Only fill it with good, positive things. Do that for yourself.
And I think the mums that are doubting themselves and saying, what have I done wrong? Tell yourself, I am a good mum. I am a good mum. Tell yourself that every single day. I am a good mum.
I am a good mum. I'm still learning, whatever it might be. But
we're all learning every single day.
And I'll tell you one thing that's been really powerful for us is you'll have seen hashtag Team Hartley, right?
Yes.
Team Hartley isn't just a hashtag. It is just how we like to be and treat each other. So, when I say to my little ones, we're Hartleys, and I stop talking, and they'll say we're helpful or we're kind.
Yeah.
And that's because we live it and we breathe it and we talk about it so often. So these kids, they know what it means to be a Hartley. Yeah. And what I mean by being a Hartley is just being a good person, Create your own teams. I'd love to see your own teams, because, that's the gift you've got. What do you guys stand for? What is important to your family unit? And live and breathe it,
Yeah, and look at Corey, he's 5 and he wants to be a coach. And he talks about confidence, and I love it. I love it.
Do you know what? And this is it. I ploughed so I didn't have a great deal of self-belief growing up. So I probably verged on the, I think people would have perceived me as arrogant, because I used to tell people how good I was because I wanted people to believe in me. Right. I probably didn't believe in myself. So I made such an effort for people to believe in me. And I think that's why I've made it my mission to really make let him know that I'm proud of him and that I believe in him. And do you know what? On his first day of school at reception, and we found out this at his very first teacher day, the teacher said, Corey came in, he was so confident and kind that the kids that were upset and crying, he just went over to them and he helped them.
I love it.
Now that for me, just sent shivers down me, because that's all I want for him. Yeah. So confident in himself, self-belief that he can put his own needs to one side and just help other people. You know, that's the type of leader I want to see in my workplace. And if that's my 5-year-old boy right now, then I'm just unbelievably proud of him. And that's just the power of people believing in you, you know?
Yeah, absolute little legend. That's brilliant. Right, okay, well, I'm conscious of the time because we've been going now for quite some time. Ryan, you're making it your mission, aren't you, to go into schools, try and go into secondary schools to speak to children. Do you want to just give a quick insight about what you're going to be doing?
Yes, I've been fortunate enough to get the opportunity to speak in, I think, a secondary school when they go back after the new school year. And the reason I want to go there is exactly what we're talking about today. It's I'm worried about the impact of social media and the confidence of young people. So the basis of my talks will all be about focusing on the inside out, and for kids to find out who they are and follow what they love.
Yeah.
You know, that's as simple as I can put it. I want young people to absolutely embrace who they are, absolutely step into that.
Yeah.
Be confident young people that willing to try anything and pursue their passions and pursue what they love.
Yeah.
I left school having a fair sense of what I wanted to do, but I was making it up as I went along, you know, and I had a good time doing it. But there's a lot of people that don't. And they get to kind of, you know, early 20s and they're just in jobs. They get stuck into jobs that they just suck the soul out of you, you know. And I think if I can get there early and prevent people going into jobs that they loathe and follow their dreams and their passion, then I'll have made a small bit of difference.
Either that they loathe or that they're just putting up with just because they think they can't do any better.
Yeah, because, you know, those people will go on to have small people. And if those small people look at their mums and dads go into jobs that they hate and they come home miserable and they're, you know, you're not going to be the best parent you want to be. You're not going to get the best out of your little ones. You just, everything comes from doing what you love. I think, Paul, when we do what we love, simple.
Amen to that. That is brilliant. I'm just quickly going to look through to see if anyone's asked any questions. Does anyone have any questions that they want to put to Ryan? Speak now. Let's have a look.
One thing I would suggest highly, if you've got a young girl, is watch Moana.
Yes.
Watch Moana and listen to every single word of that film. It is unbelievable because, you know, I won't give spoiler alerts, but Moana's a leader, you know. Moana's a leader, and she knows who she is.
Yeah. And The Greatest Showman, and that song, every time I hear that song, it just gives me chills.
This is it.
I am brave, you know, I am me,
And there's a reason that Mufasa came out of the clouds in Lion King saying, "Remember who you are."
Yes.
You know, Simba, remember who you are.
When we first watched that, you don't realise these things, do you, until you're actually practicing them yourselves, and then you spot it more if you're actually looking for it.
I love Disney.
So I don't think anyone has any questions. If you have any questions, then I'm sure Ryan won't mind if you private message him. Like I say, he's got this Facebook community called We Are Always Better Than Yesterday. And it's for like-minded people who are positive, who want to inspire people and be inspired. So if that interests you, then Ryan, we can drop the link to the group in the comments.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome to join. Okay, thank you so much for your time, Ryan. It's been
well done for sorting out, Teresa. Amazing. It's really important. No, well done you.
No, thank you.
Good job for sorting out.
Thank you all for watching and sharing. And if you haven't already shared, guys, the share button is there. And if you're watching back on replay, drop us a hashtag replay just so that we know that you have watched. And like I say, if you've got any questions for either me or Ryan from a mum's point of view or a life coach point of view, then you know where we are. Okay, thanks ever so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.
Take care, guys.
You take care, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.